going to go over how you can create your game day call sheet based off of the wristband that your players have. This can also work in reverse, but for the purposes of this video, I'll go from wristband to call sheet. So I'll start in AA here, and for AA through AC, I'm going to highlight those three cells, come up to the merge and center, and then write formations in there. And then underneath, I'm going to put in each individual formation I have. And this is because I run all of the same plays from all of the formations. I don't have some plays that are from certain formations or not. So I'm just going to go equal, and then the first formation, every single one. I'm going to keep all of the right formations up top and all of the left ones on the bottom. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight each one of these with the same color that they show up on the wristband, and I'm just going to do that manually because, well, your formation names might change. The colors are probably going to stay relatively similar, and even if you want to change which formation is in which color, then you can do that by just manually changing the colors and leaving everything else the same. It's not that difficult to do. And then last one here. And now because I can run all the same plays from the same formations, I'm going to put in the plays. So I'm going to highlight the first two here and AD and AE 22, merge and center, and I'm going to do that for the next two. So now I have three different ones here, and here I'm going to go runs, then hit tab, screens, tab, and passes. And because they're all the same plays from all the same formations, I'm going to go equal this one and enter. And now I'm going to bring this down all the way to where I get 9. And then I'm going to highlight all of these and drag it all the way across the passes. And now I have my entire wristband for one formation, such as this, put out right here. The only difference is I have some zeros where the blanks are, so I'm just going to manually delete those. So now you have pretty much your baseline call sheet for formations and plays. But now, what if you want to do some down and distance stuff? So over here, I'm going to go down and distance, and I'll go 1 and 1, and then 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. And then this is going to, I'll do one more, or for fourth down, you can have fourth and long, fourth and medium, fourth and short. And I'm going to highlight these three and then drag it up to 2. And then for 1, you can have long or medium. You're really not going to have a first and 2 per se. And then for here, I'm going to have the play name, and here I'm going to have the play number and the color number for the formation I want to call that out of, most likely. But let's say on every long situation, the defense has their DBs at 10 yards off, playing way off, forcing you to throw it short or run the ball. So say first and long, I want to run a wide receiver screen. And then second and long, I'm going to want to run bubble. And then third and long, I'm going to run a run play. Let's call it a fly left. And then fourth and long, I want it to run stick. So for each one of these, I just went equal, found the play I wanted, and then put that play in. And then you have that. And now, if you, I'll keep filling in the rest of these. So it doesn't really matter what it is. This is going to change completely based off of game planning. So it doesn't really matter what I put in here for the purposes of this. So I'm just going to put in some random plays here. And to do that, I'm just putting equal and then selecting with my mouse some play that I want. And now what I can do is I'll highlight all of these and then just bring it over one to the left. And what's going to happen is the numbers come with me here. So now I have the play number that I want along with the play type that I want. So to know that these are all down in distance, I have D and D here. I'm going to select this cell, bring it all the way over to the AM, merge and center, and now I have my down and distance major plays for each down and distance that I want to make sure I try at least once. And now I can have different tips. So on the right, I might go ANAO, merge and center, and do tips. And then it might be something like be yourself, be creative, ... Doesn't really matter what these tips are, it's whatever you want them to be for yourself. And then you can do different things like an opening script, let's say. So underneath the down and distance, I will go merge and center the same number as the D&D and do opening script. And I'll number the plays 1, 2, and I want to have, say, five plays on my opening script. And then here I'm going to skip one cell for now, and here I'm going to put in the play, and the one on the right is going to be who I wanted to touch. So I want to touch my W to get a touch. I want my H to get a touch. And by putting in a capital H, because Hawaii starts with that, if you just go H, enter, it gives you Hawaii. So if you go capital H, delete, enter, it gives you the H, and then maybe S, Y, and Z. So on the first 5 plays, I wanted to try to get 5 different players a touch here. So to get this, I'm going to go WZ screen. So first and long, first and 10, that's a great opening play here. So I'm going to go equal to that. But what if this changes based off game plan and I can't do that? Well, then I'll just come up to the wristband and find my WZ screen and go here. Now my H will go lead. My S, I'll go a dive. My Y, I'll go bubble. And my Z, I'll come to the screen again. And this way for these plays, I know I'm guaranteeing more or less these players the touch because they're all either run plays or screens where there's not really too big of a read. And just like I did with the down and distance, I'll select those and drag them left to get the number. And now I want these out of a specific formation, so I'm just going to highlight the color that the formation is in. And that's going to allow me to not really have to think too much about what I'm calling on the opening 5. I can just know I'm calling this color, this number here, and that's going to allow me to just call this, and then I know what the play is and who should be getting the touch here. If I'm unsure, I can come up to my big board of formation plays right here. I have my down and distance main stuff. I have some tips, but I also have some tags and motions I want. So underneath the formation, I'm going to highlight these three here, merge and center, and go tags. And here, because I already have them listed, I'm going to highlight these three, copy, which is Command C on the Mac, come here, and then I'm going to actually right click, paste special, and hit the transpose, and that makes it go from an up down to a left to right, which is going to be really, really easy on making these copy and pasting. But if you didn't have them already here, then that doesn't really matter too much. It's just a cool little tip. And then here I want my motions, so I'm going to merge and center that, put in motions. And because I have only 4, I'm going to do 2 lines of 2 each. So I'm just going to cell link them. So now I have my formations, my plays, my tags, my motions, down and distance, opening script, tips, and now you can also do different things like field position, where if you want field position for first down plays, field position for second down plays, whatever, you can do stuff like that by cell linking the play name and then going over to get the play number after. So that's kind of what my game day call sheet looks like without any actual formatting. After I put in borders and I put in bolding and I put in all the colors for stuff, it ended up looking something like this. This looks a little bit different because the plays and the names and everything like that was a little bit different as well. But overall, it's more or less the same thing where I have my formations, all of my plays. I had my tags on my right, my openers, I had a few more formations, reminders or tips, and then I had a couple other things on the bottom. But this is just a really basic call sheet if you're able to have a small enough playbook and the ability to run all of the same plays from the same formations. So in part 2 of this, I'm going to go over how you can do the game day call sheet and the wristbands if you only have certain plays from certain formations. So thanks for watching.